your friends, invite your not so friendly friends.
Tell them why you go today.
My people, my people. I want to hear me talk. Kaka mazimbe na ukemo. Magari magware shamo dikena mbaka moibe. Ndi agworoji agbaloso.
Hope is hopeless.
Okay, my John Ajo.
Hope is hopeless.
Onye win election kwa na gari na make noise na make joy. Onye win election na ezo. Ngwa hope ya pụta.
Hope is hopeless. Hope is hopeless. Hope is hopeless.
Madam ya pụta. Because hope is hopeless.
Hope is hopeless. Eche fuola eche.
Today, ihe na-ewute mbụ kamgbe 3 days can shift to governorship primaries from Saturday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday. And thousands of people, over 500,000 people, 500,000 a queue in all our wards. Njoki Drwine, Njinna, Gahana Kuna Line, a check, Hanwake, Tiro Hacho. Benji Haga, na line Ugumba, which was in a Shinga, Concord Hotel. Their own mother broke a mother. Ha bro Maka, na Bwebe, Ghana Bitono, Bamoto, President Mohamed Buhari, Bamoto Atoku. And India Ghana Abuja has had a popular. But where is popular? Popular here now. and I made popular in Abuja. This ground we give people where get up.
Are we doing here?
Now here I begin to tell them, say, nothing maker.
Nothing maker.
And you see, it's India Wednesday power song. By 5 o'clock, the decree said, Chairman of Bear conducted primary, and I chose the actual. Yeah, the bombos. And I tried to work for the trade. Yeah. I saw Garebe and here that works. Actually, I work first. She first. Well, I had a child. I am not going. Manama, when mother na chuma the corner, chiga na chuma. I am an election called yesterday. Engage support or in most of the local government. I propose that I took my election as a messenger. Out of 12 member committee, 8 members, no, my secretary. How was the result sheet? We collect the result came yesterday. Ugumbuche was in 455,000 votes. Hope were 9,000. Madam 5,000. HS 600 and something votes.
Jam results.
So F9. And they may declare. One of them may declare. Home base. Secretary. And members of the committee. And India won't share them. This you go outside. This you will body chiche. There may I will on a honor. So now Ugumbo Chenwosu is the APC candidate. Hour. The saga walk. How to be had a new pressure, every which wants to know. This is my happen Senate. So, I'm happy now I should enjoy land. I'm happy not to commit to this party. I said to go a new movement. I was because of Kesuloju. Like when I go vote protection unit. VPU. A bike I know all the youths, all of you must get involved. So, because I got happen. I got to have and Hope Uzodinma is a wanted person. Court has declared him a wanted person. So everyone now Hope one only police officer give them all about so and okay president the federal house assembly I can make change rescue mission when I do because in I won't no child we machine mistake or to your machine can make commission I got what they actually work on child India has your tash go boy Abraham has here on a hona I can nobody then came when one can I share can like actually yagala ask him to help you I help you so on get sick I want to thank you my youths for 3 days you have shown me love. Come on, man. Oh, na pastor me wo. My current person will me book the here, may your person. So, I'm God with your word. Naga chua. Yes. I'm na hope flyer. Naga chua. What the hell about? My paper. Where is the hair? Because it was your day, so my car. Okorocha, I love you. So, you get me 1 million out of what? Yeah, how?
Thank you so much. I'm sorry if that took longer than you would want to listen to. Tonight, I'm going to be kind of telling stories, but there is a reason for my storytelling tonight, because I have tried to see how I can present this to all my listeners tonight, and we'll still be able to hit the right chord in you, something that will hit your subconscious mind and wake up your consciousness. Pay attention. So I'm sorry if I keep telling stories, because most of them are stories, you know. Some of them you've forgotten. I'm going to link them up. And tonight, I will remind you the origin and the people behind unknown gunmen in eastern Nigeria. And I will say this with references. You can go out there and cross-check. I will be so glad if you can counter that with facts, because I'm not going to use assumption now. Okay? Unknown gunmen started from no other place than Imo State. And the genesis of that is the video you just watched. The crisis started when Okorocha, as the then governor, the godfather, somebody said, how is that with IPOB? I told you, don't be in a rush. It's going to be a storytelling night. The most interesting thing about it is that you are going to take a lot away from this. It started from these guys, from APC, Egbekegbe. One of the things after Okorocha crossed over to APC and then gave his full backing using the Imo State resources to back APC in his own right to bring Buhari in. Somehow, there's one single beneficiary too. His name is Uzodinma, a known 419er, for those who knows him very well. In fact, courts declared him wanted for fraud. I'm talking about something we probably will touch later. However, he found an abode, a solace, with APC. He found solace in APC, a protection of sorts, and therefore their road crossed criminals. He became a member of APC. In fact, I think he became a senator too. Then Okorocha was done after being an emperor for 8 solid years, where people believed that he lorded over them like Imo State was his own fiefdom, his own little kingdom. So everyone is waiting to take it their own pound of flesh. Okorocha was waiting to entrench his own legacy of fraud, family hegemony that seems to be so alien to an average Igbo man anyway. But however, they despise him. But he's the one in charge. They had to play along. He wanted to make his own son-in-law, who happened to be his chief of staff, Uche Unwosu. He wanted to make him to succeed him. Now, that was what brought the internal rancor, wahala, hopeless Uzodinma for some unknown explanation, so to say, just got a good deal in Abuja. Because some said, by the way, I have to say, right? Some said what Okorocha promised Buhari's Fulani's government, he didn't give it. Because according to them, Okorocha himself felt like it is so ridiculous to give the lands, that little land in Igbo land, in Imo State, to some Fulanis from God knows where that Buhari wants to give land to. They are all aware about the Fulanization, blah, 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 nization that you heard of earlier. They were all into it. But he didn't play his part. And I think from what people said, they said, Uzodinma went straight to those who are in charge of Buhari and said, if you make me APC candidate, if you make me governor of Imo State, yeah, I will give everything Okorocha couldn't give. Somehow, it worked. Okorocha that was controlling the party, he was the one who took his own members from Abga, Ojuku's party, Abga, took them to APC. Now, they turned against him somehow. He couldn't deliver because Abuja said it's going to be somebody else, somebody who came forth in their primary elections. Now, while they were ruggeding that, doing all of that, doing eye service with Buhari and all of that, another party took charge. Or let me say the voters in Imo State choose another party, PDP. But miraculously, like joke, the Supreme Court just announced hopeless Uzodinma, who never participated in the election. He was declared the winner. That was the beginning of what you are now witnessing or seeing, the horror, the insecurity, the incessant kidnapping of innocent people, framing people up, the murderous campaign in different communities in Igbo land. That was the gateway to that. In fact, from what I was told, they said one of the promise made by hopeless Uzodinma was that the Nnamdi Kanu that has been eluding Buhari for a long time, he will be willing, if he's given that executive power, he will be willing to track him down and get him for Buhari. This is unconfirmed though. Don't take my word for it. So some said now gossip. But you see, I told you, I'll tell you stories. You link them up as you like. Hope became the governor. The whole drama started with Okorocha's family. Then, at least, the insecurity in Eastern Nigeria was just an imagination, not like what you have now. Nnamdi Kanu was still firing. IPOB members are taking caution. People are being careful, but the whole thing was still going on as it should. So while Hope was dealing with Okorocha family, and I think it was February this year, for some of you probably will likely still remember or not, when Hope Uzodinma went after all the properties, allegedly, should I even use allegedly, the properties stolen by Okorocha, used the resources of Imo people to acquire for himself choice properties, hotels, schools, mansions, including properties of government that even after stealing that money for so long, they left the government house, they even looted the government, the governor's house. TV, furniture, drawers, utensils, knives, spoons, everything. They packed everything. We saw the video, by the way, when Ihedioa was governor before Uzodinma came. Yeah. So February this year, this happened. It's a reminder we still get a long way to go tonight. Not just that. There was this as well. For those who probably will remember too.
Can you in 2001? You know that? I'm the one. I tell Fred. You know. No, you know now. You know. Yeah, 53. I'm 56. I'm 50. Whatever you're doing. I'm the one that can you. I can't you away. I can't you away that Fred. You know. Let's stop that nonsense. Who are you? Who are you? Don't you know you're the man? In 2001, I go on. You pay for it.
So that was the start. This was February 2021. 2 months after the launch of Eastern Security Network, ESN, by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, with one singular mandate to protect the people of the rural communities of different parts of Igbo land. A noble cause, a noble idea that if these politicians were to actually love their people, as you would expect, should have been supported, upgraded, financed, and used that as a buffer to what will become the state police in Eastern Nigeria. 2 months after that, they were still going after Okorocha. Then from April, like joke, unknown gunmen started in Eastern Nigeria, precisely from Imo State. Unknown gunmen. What do you mean unknown gunmen? How can gunmen, criminals unknown? Where are they coming from? Like play. They just dropped a bombshell. Oh, unknown gunmen broke into Owerri prison, federal prison. Oh. How? Since they have been unknown, how come your headlines, your newspaper, your media are now reporting it as IPOB, ESN broke into Owerri prison? Because there is a reason why and where they were going with that. You have to set a pace, something that will trigger reactions in a way that after planting doubt in the people's mind, you need to follow it up with some actions, no matter how ridiculously planned they are. Unknown gunmen broke into Owerri prison. I was looking at all the news. I was reading everywhere to actually understand the media to give us the picture. How did they break into Owerri federal prison? Then it didn't make any sense. Within 4 hours, the police IG then announced and he said, IPOB broke into. I was like, and like fire. Hey, that. It doesn't make any sense. So look at it this way. The governor's house, where the governor lives with his family, is just about a 5 minutes walk from the federal prison. The police headquarters of Imo State, is just about a 5-7 minutes walk from the federal prison. The Nigeria military post in another town next to Owerri is just about 20 minutes drive. Then unknown gunmen, which is them, right? Unknown gunmen came in, used hours, and they broke the gates, and nothing happened to all the warders and the security men in the prison. Nothing happened to them. They broke in, they broke everybody out. Before everybody left the scene, they did their service and praise and worship song. 4 solid hours, no response, not from the wardens, not from the neighbors, not from anybody hearing the banging. They said they used dynamite to break open the gates of the prison. It doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, just 2 weeks before then, before this Owerri prison, the Nigerian military were doing campaign in Olu because there are so many IPOB members there. Let me tell you something. No matter what they make you believe, from wherever you are watching me from right now, yeah? IPOB, the full meaning of IPOB is Indigenous People of Biafra, the owners of the land. They are people. Therefore, they exist. They are not criminals, right? They meet. They know themselves. They know those who actually takes it to heart and put up these memorabilia. IPOB, I'm IPOB member. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is my leader. This and that. They know where they are many. They have the largest number. They have where they don't have very much numbers of those. They have all of, because they are normal everyday people. Drivers, Okada rider, spare parts seller, food seller, estate agent, doctors, nurses, even policemen, members of IPOB in their different communities. It was like normal thing. The ideology of Biafra. But they projected them so terribly bad that some of you were waiting for something. Show us something. How bad? Tell us how bad they are. Tell us why we should be scared. So they staged a prison break. That doesn't make any sense. By then, they've already declared them a terrorist organization, which means they needed the cooperation of all the military in Imo State that night, that morning. They needed the cooperation of all the police in Owerri that morning, including the security protecting the governor in his house, for them to be able to spend 5 solid hours breaking into prison, federal prison, Buhari prison. So it didn't make any sense. People started thinking that, okay. But what we didn't know then was they were setting all those things up. Even though a few hours after that, Uzodinma came out and he said, no, this was not done by IPOB because it didn't make any sense to blame IPOB. We know them. They won't even come to Owerri without, they will not stop at, if they could break into Owerri prison and nobody responded, that means they could break into governor's office, governor's house that night. And they could kill Uzodinma inside the house, kill his family, kill everybody. Is that not what they are telling us? Since they realized that it didn't make any sense. So they changed this. So they said they are investigating. But guess what? They were picking up innocent people all over Imo State, accusing them of the criminal. So we didn't know. Well, I knew they were setting the step. They are putting on the steps that we then justify any brutal action they take. Killings, kidnapping, for whatever it is, they can then justify. You say, we are doing it. Look at them. Look at IPOB. And I remember I said, when this unknown gunmen started, I said, please, guys, some of you are already celebrating that on social media. Unknown gunmen. Thank you, unknown men. Thank you, unknown gunmen. Thank you for dealing with unknown gunmen kill 4 soldiers at a roadblock. Hey, thank you, unknown gunmen. Oh, these people have been killing our people. Hey, I said, please don't. Pay attention. These are venomous, murderous people. Blood of innocent people doesn't really come to them. It's like the old USSR when the likes of America, the likes of the UK, the likes of the rest of the world, kind of weigh the pros and cons of their soldiers getting killed in a campaign. Right? They weigh the options. They say, oh, we're going to lose about 40,000 soldiers. Is it worth it? Is it worth the risk? But back in the USSR, when Stalin was in charge, he didn't care about the numbers. He was like, even if he has to, get his way, sacrificing 200,000 of their own soldiers, of their own policemen, to get that, whatever he wanted to get. Stalin, policemen, all of you are just numbers to them. That is exactly what's just same way politicians sees all of you. They call us ordinary Nigerians because my second name is not Obasanjo or Buhari or Tifnumbu or any of all those crooked names. right? They call me ordinary Nigerians. So if I am going on now on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the tanker spill its content, and then that catches a fire, and the convoy of us who are in that traffic got consumed and burnt down, they will say over 300 people killed in the Lagos-Ibadan petrol tanker inferno. I'm just going to be a statistic. If any politician is also killed in that, they will say, Senator Bandaku also died. But they say Senator Bandaku and 256 others. Somebody like me will be like the others. That's exactly what these guys are doing in Eastern Nigeria. Don't celebrate them. They can kill their own soldiers. They can kill their own policemen. They send their criminals there. Criminals that can also be killed by those soldiers. Whatever that will be, they are setting a space. They are setting something up. And good enough, some people indeed started pulling back. They started telling others, don't celebrate it. Unknown gunmen killed Gulag. Who is unknown gunmen? These guys killed Gulag. Gulag, the former PDP scribe who joined the APC, and he became their own primary chairman, primary election committee. They killed him. They said unknown gunmen killed him. And they went back to northern Nigeria to tell the people in northern Nigeria that IPOB has killed Gulag. It was all deliberate. It was all deliberate so that when they finally kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, finally, they can say, why are you kidnapping him? They will say, haven't you seen all the policemen, soldiers that are being killed in eastern Nigeria? It was him. It was him. It was him telling them to kill them. Do you get that now? The process was ongoing. Some of you were playing along unknowingly until it was too late. That's what I'm telling some of you right now. When I tell you to stop your infighting, when I tell you to stop your pulling down, pull this down and down, you may not understand it now. But in the next couple of weeks or months, many of you will come to say, oh, it's true. We should have stopped. Even though we are not happy with the way this movement is being handled. But we shouldn't have been so hard on ourselves the way we did in 2021. You're going to come to that reality. Don't worry. So they were setting pace for something to justify why they kill people, innocent people, they make them disappear, and including why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu. Now that they even have him, it's so difficult for them to even link him to all of these atrocities. Because Okorocha says, make una not look too long. The last stage of the whole setup is getting on. Immediately, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. Devu Umahi of Ebonyi collected 10 billion naira for Ruga. Provide land, create the land, build it for us. We are bringing the Fulanis in. Uzodinma collected nearly 10 billion naira as well. $150 million. It's out there. Garube, you know, what is his name? Do you know Garbage Shehu? Bokwari's presidency. You know, you remember that time, every time they respond to anything, they will say, presidency said, the president, and I call them presidency, by the way. The one that is presidency is Garbage Shehu. His own deputy, vice, is Femi Okonuadeshino. So when they say presidency says, that's Femi, I mean, Garbage Shehu said, plus Uzodinma don't collect 150 million. Devulu you don't collect 150 million. Convert them to Naira, that's nearly 10 billion. They all traded on the blood of Biafrans to satisfy a murderer, Buhari, that even in his own region, 19 states from northern Nigeria, no single one of them has built a single Ruga. But guess what? They have already invested, right, more than 100 billion into this Ruga project. Many of your governors don't collect money. But let me confess, there is yet to be a Yoruba governor that collected money for Ruga so far. No single one. Maybe I'm not up to date yet. I can tell you, 2 governors has collected it, and the 2 governors are Devulumayi and Uzodinma. That's the second phase. The third phase, which I believe they are up to now, is to now make it make sense in a different way and say, oh, Okorocha family, they have been the ones buying weapons for IPOB that are now causing the insecurity in eastern Nigeria. That is why on a Sunday, is that not Boxing Day? Sunday, the Nigerian policemen, they decided to go after Okorocha's son-in-law, Uche Nwosu. I don't know if you are following. Are you following this? Mayegun, where are you going? I'm still going far. If you are not in a hurry, do you understand to where I got to so far? I know you did. Thank you. Now, this is the next phase. How do we link the because this is what Uzodinma just said just about a few days ago. He said in January, on the 9th of January, he is going to name those who are behind unknown gunmen, the insecurity in Imo State and Eastern Nigeria. In order to set that in motion, what did they do? They needed to show you those who are sponsoring them. They decided, according to them, to go and invite Uche Nwosu. My brothers and sisters, tell me. Now like this, that they invite people for your yab.
Where are they shooting? Jesus! Who goes here? They are treating the women. Jesus! They have kidnapped Ugumbu Chenwosu. They have kidnapped Ugumbu Chenwosu. Plate number Abia UMA 110AA. They have kidnapped Ugumba, put Ugumbi in a car boot. Jesus! Ugumbu Chenwosu has just been kidnapped. Oh my God! They have kidnapped Ugumbu Chenwosu. They have kidnapped Ugumbu. Wow! They let them down. He lost. Who are those people? Who are those people? Go ahead. I will try to go. Wait. They just kidnapped Ugumbu Chenwosu. Who are they? What are you waiting for? Who are those people? Who are they? Who are they? Who are those people? They just kidnapped Ugumbu Chenwosu. Who are they? Who are they? She let them down. Those are gunshots. They let them down. Who are they? Blood of Jesus. Inside the church. Inside the church. They let them down. They said they are